Hey, Telstrabots, Toby here with another episode of Solution Selling TV. In 1883, the three volcanic peaks that made up the island of Krakatoa were obliterated in a cataclysmic eruption, unleashing huge tsunamis and destroying over 2/3 of the island. This explosion is considered to be the loudest sound ever heard in modern history. It's actually estimated that it was louder than standing on a rocket launching pad with no ear protection, and the sound of the pressure wave travelled around the Earth 7 times before becoming immeasurable. I know some guys who are trying to get similar levels from their fully chic subwoofers, mate. But they're not quite there yet. Remember, this was loud, with reports of it being heard up to 4,800 kilometres away. So there was probably some bloke in Tassie who asked,
"Hey, Bessie, what was that?"
To which his long-suffering wife called out,
"Have you been eating beans again, Albert?"
"So how does that relate to solution selling?" Good question, just like Albert's.
"Hey, Bessie, what was that?"
Was a great example of an open question, while
"Have you been eating beans again, Albert?"
is an excellent example of a closed question. Questions are the most important part of the solution selling process. It's as simple as, if you don't ask questions, you won't be able to solution sell. But it's not about how many questions you ask. It's about the type of questions and how you ask them. There's the easy way, or there's the hard way. Let's start by reviewing the 2 main types of questions already introduced by Bessie and Albert: closed and open. Now, I'm sure you all know that closed questions are those that, by definition, give you a yes or no answer, or perhaps a maybe. They generally start with words like can, do, will, are, should, could, would, and so on. Now, you probably find yourself asking customers something like, "Are you happy with the phone you're using?" That's a no or a yes. Or, "Do you think you'll be growing your business?" Yes. Even, "Can you tell me a bit about your business?" is actually a closed question, cunningly disguised as an open question, because the answer could actually be yes or no. Is this a closed question? Yes, of course it is. Now, there's a time and a place to ask closed questions, and it's not when you're trying to gather a lot of information. It's just too hard. You end up asking a whole bunch of questions and not gathering much information. And imagine what the customer feels like when you hit them with a barrage of closed questions. It could end up feeling like an interrogation. Do you live at 26 Smith Street, Knoxville? Where were you on the night of the 26th? What do you call the cleft in somebody's chin? Would I look good in a moustache? Would you like a cup of peppermint tea? Well, you can't. It's mine. And you may have even heard it yourself coming out of your own mouth. You know, when your standard questions end up sounding a little bit like an interrogation. Is everything okay with your services? I notice you don't have your mobiles with Telstra. Are they with a competitor? How many services do you have? How much do you spend each month on these? These questions are important, but not when you're opening a conversation or trying to really understand a customer's business, as it leads you down a very specific and narrow path. Now, there's one key attribute to open questions. The customer talks more, you talk less. Just like on our first date. So enough about me. What about you? What do you think of me? However, there's one occasion when you want to ask a closed question. When you're closing. But more about that in another episode. On the other hand, open questions are much more conversational. They generally start with words like who, what, when, where, which, why, and how. Now, use these types of questions when you're discovering needs. And you'll find you'll learn so much more about your customer and their business and the potential opportunities that our products and services may have on positively impacting the way they do things today. But open questions come in flavours too. High game, medium game, and low game. This is all about how much information a question naturally leads to. So let's try some of the flavours and see how we go. So, who is involved in making technology decisions in your company? Now, that's a low gain question, as you're likely to only get one or perhaps a couple of names. Same with, when are you planning to open up a second office? Another low gain question. What would you like to improve with your field operations? is a medium gain question. It opens up the conversation but limits the response to one area, field operations.
Where are you spending your energies right now?
Now this one's medium to high gain. It should open up the conversation into a whole lot of areas.
Which strategies are you focusing on at the moment?
Now that's still an open question, but it's a prioritisation question, a version of a medium gain question.
Why is your goal of improving customer interactions so important?
Stand by to sit, listen and take in a whole pile of notes on this one. Potentially very high gain.
And how will you go about making this happen?
There's another one where the customer will end up talking a lot. And it's a great example to the key attribute of effective open questions. You talk less, the customer talks more. Let's see how we go with changing from low to medium to high gain. Move from
How many mobile phones do you have?
to
Besides just making calls, what do your people use their business mobiles for?
this could then be made even higher gain by asking,
How do you help your field staff be as productive as possible?
now here are some other examples. If you ask,
Do you have other offices?
try,
Where are your offices located?
if they only have one, they'll still answer with something like, well, just this one. But then they may say, but we're looking at expanding next year. And boom! You've learned a key fact that could possibly change your solution. Now, rather than asking,
Is customer service important to you?
go in with a question like,
What aspects of your business are you focusing on right now?
you'll learn more plus understand your customers' priorities, all with one easy question. Just these simple changes can really open up your conversation. So can you see the difference in the conversation when you use open versus closed questions? And can you see how just by making a couple of small changes to your open questions, you can turn more of those into high gain questions? In the next episode, we'll show you a technique that uses open questions in a way that allows you to learn massive amounts of information and to keep control of the conversation, while the customer feels like they're having a conversation with someone who's really, really interested in their business. It's called the Matrix Method. And I can't wait to share that one with you. It's one of my really high impact techniques. In the meantime, really focus on asking open questions when you're talking with your customer, as this will open up a wealth of information in the Discover Needs step of solution selling. In fact, listen to yourself or have someone listen in on your conversation and see how often you use open versus closed questions. Get them to listen in and mark down how many of each type of question you're asking. It can be very, very informative. Or be your own judge by evaluating how much more information you're able to gather about a customer's business and how that helped you to sell the right products and plans to fulfill the customer's needs. Get it? Good! I'll be back with more Solution Selling TV soon. You know, this video was proudly produced by the Small Business Channel Programs team. Happy selling and thanks for watching. I've been Toby Travanner. Say hi to your customers for me.